Welcome to the Primo's Musings podcast.
Good evening. This is Sri Primo with a update for the Perth test between India and Australia on day 4. India notched a huge victory, 295 runs victory over Australia in the first test, taking a 1-0 lead. There's still a long way to go, 4 more tests. The second test is not even for a while now, but India definitely right now on the driver's seat in terms of the series. They also make a good case to still be on top in the World Test Championship lead. But the day did start with Australia at 12 for 3 and with Travis Head starting and Khwaja, but Khwaja played a very terrible shot and he went out rather meekly, and Australia had 4 wickets down for less than 30 runs. But Smith and Travis Head played some amazing shots, like driving the ball through the covers, sweeping the ball. This guy, his technique, he never moves from where he stands, but just whips the ball, some of the cuts through cover, through gullies, some of them through mid-on. So he was really sharp. And once he started going, Smith started playing well. Smith was the perfect foil for him, and he gave a good partnership. They had a very good partnership, but there was a great over between Siraj and Smith, and Siraj got the best of Smith with a little outswinger. All the previous balls were in swingers, completely fooled Smith, and Smith fell caught behind with Rishabh Pant. Then Mitchell Marsh came in, and both Mitchell Marsh and Travis Head really took on to the Indians. Mitchell Marsh, going for some big hits. Travis Head, was classic. He quickly raced to 80 runs, but Mitchell Marsh was also a great player on the offside. At one point, it looked like Australians are going to take it. It was still a long way to go, um, but Head and kept them in the game. They made the Indian bowlers toil, but at 161 for 4, Bumrah, who else, comes up with a beauty of a ball. This is where I was talking about where Travis had hardly moves his feet, and that really cost him and caught behind to Rishabh Pant. And that was a huge breakthrough for India. And once he got that, it was just Marsh and Carey. Carey was someone who was a good player last in the first inning, and Marsh started to, once Travis had departed, Marsh really started to take it to the Indian bowlers. He had some excellent shots driving Bumrah and Rana, and it all came down to with Marsh trying to cut a very quick one from Nitish Kumar Reddy, and that's why he departed. And now Australia lost their 7th wicket for 191. At that time, it was just a matter of time India would finish it off. But the key change came in with Washington Sundar bowling to Stark. Stark was pretty good, but it was an amazing, almost a blinder catch by Jurel. And very next, in the same over, within like 2 balls, Washington Sundar had a brilliant ball to castle Nathan Lyons off stump. And again, it was just Carey and Hazelwood who were just trying to score as many runs as possible. The result was nowhere in doubt. But then Harshit Rana came back, got his well-deserved wicket, 1 wicket he got, and when he castled Carey with to dismiss Australia 200, and India win the first Test match by 200, which makes India the only team to beat Australia at the Optus Stadium. If you ask me, this was an earlier. When it started. India was bowled out very quickly. You thought Australia had the upper hand, but then India fought back and dismissed Australia for 104 with a 40-second lead. And then Jasiwal and Kohli had some brilliant hundreds to give Australia a 500 plus target. And India declared early, and that proved to be the uh, I would say, a turning point of the game for Indians too, where Bumrah and the bowling attack. Siraj took like 3 quick wickets on day 3, and that really put the pressure back on Australia, and they never recovered from that. Travis Head and Mitchell Marsh did give a fight back, Smith to an extent, but the Indian bowlers were too much. Now they move on. Australia now moves on to the Adelaide Test, and let's see what they can do there. I really predict Australia will bounce back, just like India did that in the last series in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy in Australia a few years ago, where India lost, where it was bowled out for 36, embarrassed, came back and won the series. So this is going to be a battle up to the fifth test. Right now, India is on top, is on driver's seat. They're also the number one spot with Australia closely behind second and Sri Lanka and New Zealand in third and fourth positions. And kudos to Bumrah. But the next test match, you're going to have Rohit Sharma going to be back as a captain. So it's going to be a lot of interesting thing for India to see who they sit and who they bring them back into the test side. But for Australia, let's see what they would do. They keep the same 11 or bring other players into the fold. That remains to be seen. There's still a long way to go. But in the meanwhile, India, well-deserved victory. Bumrah and company in every department. They outplayed Australia in the bowling department, in the batting department, and the fielding department. They were definitely the better team in the first test. But I still predict this series will be a much uh, big battle for India, and Australia would definitely come back and you know, show what they're capable of. With that, we wrap up the day 4 and the first test recap, and looking forward to test number 2. Thanks again for listening, and have a good night.
Thank you for listening. Primo will be back soon.